All right, we got the new Wedge 2.0 formation in the game, and this brings yet another massive, not just small, but a massive power creep to the game. And it's hurting things, guys. The number one comment I'm getting on my videos when it comes to Wedge 2.0 is that people are completely disenfranchised. They're threatening to quit the game. They're upset about it. And it really alienates a massive majority of players in this game. And so stick around, because we're going to finally talk about this. We're going to have a heart-to-heart about this, because there's been a few things lately that they have done in the game that have really disenfranchised a lot of people. And there's been one of them that I've been extremely against when it comes to the Kraken Buffs. We'll talk about that. And they've also done things that have really helped, and the praise is amazing. And so from there, let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. Let's have a heart-to-heart about this thing, and let's discuss the biggest threats to this game that there are going to be. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chadsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms as a sponsored content creator all the time. I love this game. Anybody that knows me knows that I love playing it, knows that I love doing everything when it comes to the game. If you enjoy these videos or get anything out of them or think they're entertaining, hit that like button. Really helps out the videos a ton. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, you can hit that subscribe button. And okay, day 2 now that I'm going to be called out for not updating my subscribers there, because we're up to 75,000 subscribers. Also, you can hit that bell if you want to get any alerts when I do content like this. Well, what you're seeing here, and I'm going to talk about this, okay? Because this is going to be a video that's going to talk about the discrepancies between the power creep and what it does for mid spinners, low spinners, and free-to-plays in the game. The overwhelming majority of people who play this game, okay? This is the first thing that we're going to talk about. This is Wedge 2.0, right? This is the new Wedge 2.0 that is coming to the game. And if you want to switch over one of your special inscriptions to Wedge 2.0, it costs 10 conversion stones. 10! And these are so hard to get, these things. They are so hard to get. You can get them from a bundle. You can get them from the achievements that we've got in KVK. And you can get them from the shop. These things are crazy expensive. Like crazy expensive. And so from that standpoint, let me explain why, okay? In the KVKs, you have to be active in KVKs. Well, a lot of players don't play but 3 or 4 KVKs a year. I mean, they're so long and they're so spread out that it's really hard to do that. You just don't have the speed ups. You don't have the resources. You don't have, Kingdoms can't go into KVKs every single first pop. It's just impossible to do. But when you go into KVK and you come over here to Path of Greatness, you'll see that there are all kinds of ways to get these little conversion transmutation conversion stones. Sorry about that. And you can get up to 10 in a KVK. Okay, you can get up to 10 conversion stones in a KVK, and you got to do it with a lot of activity, a lot of acclaim, a lot of kill points, a lot of honor, all that fun stuff. All right, so that gets you 10. That's enough conversion stones to swap over one special inscription. Just one. And so you come over here to enhance, you go over here to convert, you roll over all the way over to the right where the new Wedge 2.0 is, and you can see it costs 10 conversion stones, okay? And so from there, all right, nobody can change over very quickly. Now, I've done a couple of videos, and I was the guinea pig on this, and I've got the luxury of, number one, spending a ton in the game. But I play this game. You guys know me. I'll chain in home kingdom. I do crazy stuff to be active on my account. I fight like crazy, just insane hours. I love this game so much that I play it, honestly, like I love it. I play it like a free-to-play. I grind it out. I get all the activities done. I get all the different events done. I love it. And so from there, I had the luxury of being able, with the money I spent in the game and how I've advanced my account, I had 2 Delta sets, and I converted one to Wedge 2.0. And more than anything, I had to be in a situation to where I wanted to test out if Wedge 2.0, as powerful as it is, because it's a massive power creep from the original Wedge, I wanted to see how it was going to work for older commanders that still do skill damage for cavalry. All right, and we found out that, like, yeah, Wedge 2.0 is going to bring Huo back into the meta. running a Huo Arthur March or running a Huo Joan March or running Huo Nevsky for swarming or whatever it might be. The Wedge 2.0 is just wild. It's crazy. Now, it's not wise, and my last video, I'll put a card up at the top, but my last video talked about how you don't need to go this route, okay? They have projected to us, and they've told us they are going to stick to combo and delta formation for cavalry, all right? So, from there, we have to stick to archers. Well, guys, everybody runs an archer march. A lot of people run 2 archer marches. And when people are running 2 archer marches, like take this right here. Like if I just put something else on here, and I've got this set up. A lot of players have something like this, 3 rares and some common inscriptions and some doubles. You know, a lot of people have this kind of stuff. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to say, okay, I've saved enough conversion stones, all right, to move all this. This doesn't even have a special inscription. But let me show you how much it costs just to convert it. All right, here, I'll just click here just because it's going to show you. It costs 5 to move a rare with a double. Okay, it costs 3 to move just a rare. And then it costs 3 to move a double. Okay, so to just move this without any special inscriptions, that costs 14 conversion stones. 14. And we know it's so hard to get them in KVK, but you can take a set like this and you have to fight you have to fight 2 KVKs to get enough conversion stones to move them over. The other way is that you can buy a bundle, right? Every month this bundle resets. Now I maxed it out because I'm an idiot and I put this thing together, but $10 gets you 1 conversion stone, $20 will get you 2. Those are like the first 2 levels. Like anybody that's a mid spender, I always tell them like, hey, at least go get a conversion stone once a month. You know, it helps you out so much and it's $10 and you get other benefits to it with a little bit of speed ups and the resources that come with it. And it's just really, really expensive. And if you thought that was expensive as a spender or as a person who doesn't spend, if you have the gems, it costs 10,000 gems to get one of these things. 10,000. Like, so for me to go move over that rare set that I have on Herman, it would cost me 140,000 gems. It would cost any player that to move it without a special inscription. And then if you want to move 2 specials over with a couple of rares, you're paying 30. It's insane. Oh, I'm sorry. You're paying 26 conversion stones. It's just too much. And what happens is it becomes so much discrepancy because the only people who can afford to do this are spenders in the game. And they've made Wedge 2.0 so broken that there's going to be a large discrepancy. Guys, we showed you this. Like, let me show you here. I got to pull this up. Now, this gives you an idea, okay? It gives you an idea of how this thing works, all right? I'm going to come over here and show you I've got it in my favorites. I'm going to come show you what happens when I run the Wedge 1.0. It's got 4 special inscriptions against a really good pincer with Sun Tzu. I get murdered. I get wrecked. Ran it 3 times, got wrecked. Now, let me show you what happens when you have the Wedge 2.0. Look at this. Oh my God, it's winning. It's like the same setup, just changing out the formation with the specials. Now it's beating Sun Tzu. So the discrepancy and the gap and the power creep is off the charts. And let's be real, if somebody has a 4 special or a 4 special inscription set, they have to be a spender to move all that over to Wedge 2.0. So you're basically cutting out 90%, 95, maybe 98% of the community. Now, some people might have like 1 or 2 with some rares. It still costs a ton. Like at some point, you got to spend money if you want to do that. And so that's the issue. The number one comment I'm getting from all these videos when I'm doing all the testing and all the information on Wedge 2.0, everybody is saying this is a money grab. This is making the strong stronger. This is making the Kraken stronger. And I'm never going to be able to afford to do this. It's going to take me a year to save up the conversion stones to move my Wedge set to Wedge 2.0. And that's the number. Go into my comments. Go to the comments in this video. I guarantee you they're already fired up down there. of people just saying, oh my gosh, Chatsky, you're so right. Like, this is unbelievable. People are threatening to delete the game. That's where we're at. And so this has got to be thought through. Like, what's an easier way to get conversion stone? Well, they gave us an event that they've recently taken out. And part of the reason why I think they took it out, the event they gave us 3 conversion stones. 3. And that's still nowhere near enough. Like, nowhere near enough. And they did a little formation to where you could put your pity in here and translate that over into wedge formation too. But you got to be able to do it with one of these little currency that they have, and they give that currency through that event. So you can move over your pity, and that's kind of nice. But as far as what you already have, if you're running 2 archer marches, like for any low spender, mid spender, or free to play, do not move over cavalry. Do not move over infantry. Even if it's a little bit better than the 2 cav setup, because I've already said that. I've already said that a gang Achilles with Huo and Arthur with Wedge 2.0 is probably the 2 best cav marches you could run, but not by much. The discrepancy is not there that much, but it is the best you can run. And so don't do that. If you're a cav, if you're thinking about doing it for cav or infantry, you have to do it for archers though. They force you to, because the discrepancy is so, this is a massive power creep, guys. This stuff here with the 12% more skill damage that you get from the formation alone, it is a massive power creep. And so from there, players just are having such a tough time doing this. So we got to figure this thing out, because they're going to bring out Delta in a handful of months, a few months. We don't know when, because we didn't really know when this was going to come out. It came out a lot later than it was supposed to. And if they do it for Delta, and they do a Delta 2.0 based on what they just did for Wedge, they're going to have to power creep this like crazy. Like when they announced they were going to do a Wedge 2.0, I thought it was just going to be different. I thought it was just going to be maybe rally and garrison type stuff, or give the same level of buffs, but just different attributes, maybe some different components, different things that it did. That's what I thought they were going to do. No, they just went full power, man. Like just enhancing everything. The boosts were enhanced, okay? The different aspects to the special inscriptions were enhanced, and they just full power crept it. Well, when only 98 or when 98% or 97%, however the percentage of spinners are in this game, when they can't afford to move everything, then it gives the top 2, 3, 4%, whatever that number is, it gives the top 2, 3, or 4% of the game even more of a benefit and even more of an advantage. And that's the problem. That's what people are upset about, okay? They did this for Krakens, and it really only affected a very, very small amount. But if you spend a certain amount in the game, you get these Kraken buffs. It's the Wolf Den buffs, okay? I got gathering speed. I got training cost reduction. I got 10% troop attack. I got an all damage situation to where I take less all damage. Like, it's crazy what the Kraken buffs did. I made a video about it saying, take this out of the game now. We don't need it. I'm a Kraken, and we don't need it. Like, you don't want to give players who invest so much energy and effort, and even the low spenders a little bit of money, and the mid spenders a decent amount of money, they invest all this into a game, and they feel like the game is leaving them behind. It's going to kill this game. Like, the power creep on this is just off the charts. And they're going to give us a Delta in a handful of months, and it's going to be off the charts. And people can't even save for it. Everybody's going to be scrambling just to get enough conversion stones, where they got to buy it or spend gems on it or wait KVKs to get it. They're going to spend so much time, energy, money, and effort just getting this caught up for their archers, let alone another one for Delta and their cavalry. And they got to balance the game, because this is so overpowered that, like, okay, you now need to do Delta. And then you're going to need to do Pincer for infantry. Like, what are we doing here? Like, guys, listen, it's hard. And somebody's got to understand this with the game developers, that you power creep like this, it crushes the game. We got enough issues with pilots. We got enough issues with pilot services at the competitive level. We got enough issues of people hating to play this game because of different things that they allow in the game that are really, really tough, okay? When you do the power creep, it's awful. Now, they have done things, and the last Crystal Tech changes that they did, the full makeover of Crystal Tech allowed it to where players could have max troop cap, which is great. They could focus one troop type. They're given defense and health, okay? And you do have some damage here at the back, but overall it made it easier for players. You could get to the back of the tree without having to spend near as much crystal. And that was celebrated like crazy. The community was like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lilith gods and developer gods, for giving us this to help close the gap a little bit. And it's almost like you take one step forward and two steps back. Because you take one step forward by doing something great like that, helping out all players, not just the Krakens and the whales. But then you take two steps back by giving us a Kraken buff. Just because somebody asked for it, I guess. I don't know why they gave this to us. And I complained about it. Like, don't give that. We don't need this. And then when you run power creep up to where you're excluding so many players from having the conversion stones and accessing the conversion stones to get them to go convert to a much, much more powerful formation, like you're just creating that discrepancy, that difference between the pay to win and the free to plays, or the pay to win and the mid spinners and low spinners. It starts to get wider and wider. And when we do that too much and we can't rely on the community to help us out, because everything in this game is about the community. That's what the game is. And if you start disenfranchising all these players, then we're in trouble. We're not going to have a game. Like, guys, we got to figure this thing out, man. Like, it's hard. I'm like just trying to plead. I'm like, we don't need this. Like, this is just out of control. Like, maybe you can enhance it a little bit, or keep it. If you're going to enhance it, fine. Just give everybody like a low-cost Wedge to Wedge 2.0, like super low cost. There have already been in-game suggestions on the Rise of Kingdoms Discord. Like, people freaking out about this. Like, they're going to go get wrecked in the field because it's going to take them forever just to move their original Wedge set over to Wedge 2.0, but they have to, or they're going to get wrecked. Just wrecked. And so we've got enough issues in this game that they've got to fix. We love the new things they put in this game. But here's the thing. You grow a game by making it accessible to everyone, or to the masses, right? And when I say the masses, I mean the majority of the people playing the game. If they made converting to Wedge 2.0 much more accessible for everybody else, and maybe there's a little bit of a cost in there, maybe the cost is cut in half, that would at least help, to where you can move two specials through one KVK, getting 10 conversion stones, and it only costs 5 apiece to move it over from Wedge to Wedge 2.0, and maybe that's what they can do. That's an easy fix. Like, we're not saying, hey, you can move Delta over to Wedge 2.0, but if you're upgrading your formation from the first generation to the second generation, you drastically reduce the conversion stone cost, or you give us the stones to be able to move them. Because the overwhelming majority of players they can't afford it. They can't afford to move it over. And then we look at this for Delta, everybody's got to start saving now for Delta. Like, if you've got a couple of special inscriptions, all right, you need 20 conversion stones and you could be a free to play. And that's why it's so, so difficult. We just gotta, guys, we gotta rethink this. We gotta have the community. We got to have the free-to-plays. We got to have the low spinners. We got to have the mid-spinners. We got to have everybody pulling the same rope and being okay with this. And we got to be okay with whales being upset that they spend so much money and they don't just have a pay-to-win advantage where they can just go kill everybody and everything because they pay money. You can't adhere to that, okay? Complaining whales, I understand that a large chunk of the revenue comes from whales. But most whales with sense enough in their brain to understand how the game works, we're not asking for a bunch of power creep. We've already got enough. Guys, I'm running tier 5 stuff everywhere. I've already got enough. I'm running tier 5 stuff everywhere. I'm running special inscriptions everywhere. And I have maximized the spending in this game to be able to differentiate my account, and giving us Wedge 2.0 just differentiates it even more. Even more. Like, I spent a ton just to upgrade all of my stats on all of my different formations, just upgrading my stats. I spent a ton. Now with this, I can just move over to a cracked, busted, good, power crept Wedge 2.0. Well, that's the easy investment I can ever make if I'm spending money, because the value of it is so massive. And so I want your comments, y'all. I want your feedback. Get into my Discord. The link's down in the description. We're all in this together. We need to help this along. We need to give that feedback to the game, the developers. I'm a sponsored creator, but what the beauty of being a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms and Lilith is the fact that they don't tell me what to say. I can say whatever I want. And if I feel a certain way about something, they're totally okay with me venting my frustration. War Frenzy cooldown. Oh my gosh, I went off on that. The Kraken Buffs. I went ballistic on this. Like, take this out. I don't need this 10% attack. Like, I've already got enough discrepancy. And so, guys, if we're going to release Wedge 2.0 or Delta 2.0 or Pincer 2.0, just make it more accessible to everybody. And I promise you the game will thrive. The more accessible things are in the game to everybody, the more the game thrives. I promise. And whales are still going to be there. They're still going to be there. They're still going to have advantages. Just help us out. Oh, man. Get down in my comments. Hope you guys got a little bit out of this. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, throw a like on here. Helps out the channel a ton, helps out that almighty algorithm. And like I said, I will be down in my comments interacting with you guys. Like always, I ain't hard to find. You can get into my Discord. You can ping me in my Discord. People do all the time. I'm going to be there. Oh, man, it's absolutely great. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Felt like this video was needed. And with that being said, wherever you may be, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and we'll see you later, broskies.